Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to talk about pre-orders. Now, pre-ordering books is not something I do very often, but sometimes I do. It depends on, obviously, what the book is. If it's an auto by author for me, I tend to pre-order those books, but I'm getting a little bit more picky now about what I'm pre-ordering and trying to really only pre-order books that I plan to read right away, that type of thing. So because of that, a bunch have gone by that I have just not pre-ordered, and I'll pick them up at some point. But there are quite a few on my shelves that I have pre-ordered in the past that I haven't read yet. And I pre-ordered them because I was so excited and I'm going to read this right away. And yeah, they're still sitting here, some of them years later. So I wanted to show you what I have on my shelves that I pre-ordered in the past and I still haven't read. So this is one of the reasons why I have stopped doing so many pre-orders. Okay, first one here is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. This is book number 2 in her, oh gosh, I don't know the name of it. In her series, I'm trying to remember the name of the series, but I don't remember. But the first one was Children of Blood and Bone, and I loved that book. I read that one with Lindsay, and it was 5 stars. Like, I was obsessed with it. I loved it so much. So excited for this one to come out, and it took forever to come out. It kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and I pre-ordered it like as soon as it was available. So it came to me later than expected, but it did come. And then I heard not great things about it, and now I'm like, oh gosh. So that's part of the reason why I haven't read it yet, because I'm hearing such more negative than positive things, and I'm like, oh man. And I don't know the status on book 3 yet. So I don't know what is going to be coming of that. I haven't really paid attention either. But yeah, so I'm kind of dragging my feet on this one a little bit because I'm a little bit scared that I'm not going to like it. So I don't know, but I did pre-order it. Next pre-order was like, why did I pre-order this? It's Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. I pre-ordered it because I loved Nevernight so much, but I haven't read book 2, and this is book 3. I haven't read book 2 yet, and I actually want to reread Nevernight first and like kind of binge the series, the trilogy, but I did pre-order this one as soon as it was available with the intention of, you know, rereading Nevernight and then reading the whole series, and it hasn't happened yet. It's been sitting here for quite a long time. Yeah, so I don't know, but it's signed first edition, so yay. Okay, this next one was a new release for this year, and that is Game Changer. This is by Neil Shusterman. I pre-ordered this because I have really enjoyed everything I've read from Neil Shusterman so far, and this one definitely interested me. I might be picking this up around like football season, because this does follow a football player who gets hurt in a game, and then he ends up, I don't know if he's in a coma or not, but he ends up kind of seeing, like, having 2 different options, like almost 2 dimensions of his life because of this accident. So it sounds really interesting, and I'm sure he's going to make it really intriguing and questioning a lot of things. So football season, this might be happening. Okay, these next 2 are actually books that were pre-orderable, and I did pre-order both of them, and they were reprints, basically. So they were re-released and came up for pre-order, and so I did do both of them, and they're both by the same author. That is Anne Rule. So I have Green River Running Red, which follows the Green River Killer. I don't know all the details about this serial killer, but she covers him in a book, so I'm interested, and they redid like the cover and everything on this one. So I went ahead and pre-ordered this one, and then the next one is Small Sacrifices, and this one follows Diana Downs, who killed her children and then tried to blame it on somebody else and all that. So don't know all the details of this one either, but I have heard the name Diana Downs quite a bit. So yeah, this one came up for pre-order, so I pre-ordered both of these, and they're still sitting there, not read yet. I do need to be in the mood for nonfiction, so there is that too. Okay, this one is shameful. This one is so shameful. I waited so long for this book. It was my most anticipated book of 2020. And I waited so long because it got pushed back a few times. And I was so angry about it. Waited so long for this book. And then it finally came. And I was like, yay. And then it's still sitting here. And I have not read it yet. Hollow Box by Jessica Townsend. Book number 3 in the Nevermore series. Why haven't I read this yet? This is middle grade. I was so anticipating it because I loved the first 2 books. And this is book 3. We don't have any news on book 4 yet, but it's going to be a multiple book series. I think the last I saw, it's going to be 6 or 7 books. Last I heard, I can't find too many details about it quite yet, but I think it's going to be at least 6 books. And yep, nope, haven't read it yet. I was so excited, guys. Okay, let's talk about another same author, 2 different books. This is an auto by author for me. Is she the best author in the world? No. Are they so much fun? Yes. Am I obsessed with them? Yes. Let's talk about Sarah J. Maas. Pre-ordered this bad boy, House of Earth and Blood, which is the first book in the Crescent City series, which is a new adult series by her that I'm super excited about. And pre-ordered it and so happy, and it's urban fantasy and I'm totally down for this. Still sitting here. Book number 2 comes out in January and I haven't read this yet. So because of that, I might wait till more towards the end of the year to read it, like second half of the year, so that I can read it and then probably pre-order the second book and hopefully read it soonish. And then we can also talk about A Court of Silver Flames, which is the next book in the ACOTAR series. So like, okay, there was the original trilogy, Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. Then there was kind of a bridge novella, and then this is following different characters, like a different story arc from the first 3. Super excited. Heard really great things. Ready to read it because I have read all the other books in the series, so I'm ready to read this one. I'm also ready to read this one because it's the first in the series, so like it's fine. Haven't read either one. And they're bricks, so that's fine. Another auto by author. There's a theme here, guys. I tend to pre-order from my favorite authors and then I don't read them right away. Oh, Colleen Hoover Verity. I have not read this yet. Do you know how many people have yelled at me for not reading this yet? It's embarrassing. And Layla. I absolutely had to pre-order this because Layla is my little baby's name. My younger daughter, her name is Layla. So I had to buy this. Haven't read either one. Why? Okay, this one actually might be more shameful because this one came out. Let me tell you when it came out, because I pre-ordered this book, guys. And this book came out in 2017. Origin by Dan Brown, which is book, is it 5 in the Robert Langdon series? So the first one was Angels and Demons, which was my favorite. And then Da Vinci Code and The Lost Symbol and Inferno. And then, yeah, so this one. So this is number 5. I've read all the other books, so I'm ready to read this one. I would definitely have to brush up. I'd have to find like a really good spoiler review of at least the last book because I really don't remember. I remember The Lost Symbol and Inferno I didn't love. I think I gave them 3 stars. Like, they weren't that great. I loved the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I think Angels and Demons was like my favorite. But I loved those 2. And then the other 2 I didn't love so much. So I'm a little bit nervous about this one. I don't know if I'm going to love it, but oh my gosh, it's big. And I need to give it a shot. I don't know if he's planning to write more in this series or not. This one kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't like super heavily talked about or pushed or anything, and then it just showed up and we were like, whoa, and so I pre-ordered it. So yeah, this one's going to require some research because it's been a few years since I read the last one and I need to like brush up because it takes him a couple years to write these books. So it's not like he's not churning them out real quickly either. So yeah, there's that one. Also pre-ordered Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I think a lot of people did, because this is a prequel to The Hunger Games following President Snow. I've heard really bad things, so I'm kind of dragging my feet a little bit, but this is on my list to read this year. I would like to go ahead and get it read and see what I think. But yeah, so it will be read before the end of the year because it's on my list. It's a goal, but just haven't done it yet. I also pre-ordered The Bone Houses. This is by Emily Lloyd-Jones, and I have read her in the past, and I really, really liked what I've read by her so far. And so I knew, like, when this one was announced, I wanted to read it. So I did go ahead and pre-order it. This is going to be like a kind of a paranormal type fantasy book. And yeah, and this one got damaged in the move, like the cover's ripped. I was really upset about that. Actually, I have some book tape. I could probably tape that up, but yeah, I don't know. So haven't read it yet. And then another one that came out earlier this year, that is The Gilded Ones. This is by Namina Forna. I've heard really good things about this book, so I am excited to read it still. It's a young adult fantasy that is heavily inspired by African culture, and something about the blood where if your blood is gold, you are kind of shunned, I think, from what I'm understanding. And our main character does have gold blood in her, and she ends up having the opportunity to join a secret army. So yeah, I'm excited to read it, and I have heard really, really good things, but I did pre-order it. Just haven't read it yet. And the last one is another auto by author, and I haven't read this one yet either. That is Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. There's a couple of books by Christina Lauren that I haven't read yet. This is one that I did pre-order. So I'm still working my way through Christina Lauren's backlist, but yeah. So this is one I pre-ordered that I just haven't read yet. Yeah. Okay, guys. So those are all of the books that are on my shelves that I pre-ordered. Made the commitment to ordering them ahead of time and receiving it on release day, and so excited, and they're still sitting here collecting dust. So, yeah, that's it. So touching these books again, kind of maybe could put a few more on my radar for sooner consumption, hopefully. And yeah, it was fun to kind of go through and see what I pre-ordered and what I have just not read yet. And then there have been some that I pre-ordered that I have read, which is awesome. But these are the ones that are still sitting there untouched and just waiting their turn at this point. So let me know down below if you guys have read any of these. Do you guys tend to pre-order, or do you just wait until they're cheaper? Let's be real. Sometimes I do that as well. And what are your pre-ordering habits, if you have any, or do you just not pre-order? Let me know. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day.